So last night I discovered something that's going to change my life. To be honest, I think it's going to change all of our lives and already is in massive ways. AI that actually can do tasks and that we have access to. Nothing. We're in the future. It's here.
I'm interrupting my break from being a person to tell you about this new AI that just came out because it is blowing my mind. When I asked it to do something, its response is so mind-blowing that I had to do the Jurassic Park, because I couldn't believe what I was seeing. It's a chat AI tool. You can talk to it. It's free. It's called Chat GPT. It speaks every language and programming language. And I asked it very simply, can you tell me a short story about a frog falling in love with a turtle, thinking it would give back the usual gibberish. But it didn't. It gave me a short story about a frog falling in love with a turtle, and it's good. I legitimately cannot tell it was written by a computer. It has a beginning, a middle, and an end. It has purpose. It all is leading somewhere. All the characters stay the same, and they have, it describes the feelings. It's a little love story. And that is the simplest thing that it can do. It speaks programming languages. You can ask it to write programs for you, and it will. You can give it code, and it'll tell you what's wrong with it. I don't want to be hyperbolic, but I got one of those gut feelings I got right in March of 2020 where I was like, oh God, everything is about to get real weird.
Dear AI, please tell me about the laws of the universe. I want to know. Are there 3 dimensions or are there 10? Are there other beings in realms that I just can't perceive with my limited human senses? Are we in a simulated universe or is this base reality? I have so many questions. Dear AI.
Okay, is anyone else having an existential crisis about AI and what to do now? Because I was thinking oh, maybe I'll learn how to code because then I'll build cool apps. But now it seems like the AI will be able to, you type a few things in, it will build the apps for you. Then you think about, oh, well, maybe it's the person who has the idea. But then if I type into ChatGPT right now about 5 great app ideas, I'm sure it will come up with better things than I will do. And then I'm thinking oh, maybe I'll start a podcast. But then I was thinking oh no, why don't I just ask ChatGPT to create an entire podcast dialogue about the week in tech between 2 people? And maybe ask Dolly to create an avatar and then basically just simulate the entire podcast, probably better than I could do. So I guess what do we do? What's going on?
I have to say, it is a very psychologically difficult thing to have written a book about how artificial intelligence is soon going to be able to impersonate human abilities, and about how we as a species are really prone to handing over decision making to outside systems. We're just built to take shortcuts. And then to have something like ChatGPT debut. I guess I knew on some level that this kind of thing was going to happen. I knew that there would be in reporting the book, I spent years writing this book, and people have been telling me things are coming that are going to allow you to make art even if you can't draw, and make music even if you can't compose, and write literature even if you aren't fluent in the language. And here we are. And I don't know, there's something about watching everyone wring their hands about it and to be excited about it and start companies with it this week, it's happening right now in real time. I don't know, I find all of that anxiety making. You write a book like that and you sort of think, maybe I'm helping people get out in front of this thing, and that is not at all what's happened. And this is partially my fault because I don't think I promoted this book very well. And if you've watched this far, maybe you should go check out The Loop, How Technology Creates a World Without Choices and How to Fight Back. That's what the book is about. And it's literally about ChatGPT. It's literally about that. So anyway, I'm just sort of putting my flag in the subject here and just saying that it's not satisfying to me to have been out in front of this one. It's distressing in a way. And I'm looking forward to people much smarter and more energetic than me figuring out what we do from here.
So I'm currently using Chat GPT to write a email to a client because they were offering me $20 for a video. And I was going to aggressively write the email. I said, you know what? I'm not going to use that energy. Let Chat GPT use its energy to write this email for me. And I'm going to show you what it wrote. So this is what I wrote. I told it to write an email to a client letting them know that the offering a freelancer $20 a video is unacceptable as it takes a lot of work and effort and blah, blah, blah. You know, you guys can read that or whatever, right? This is what it wrote for me. Dear client, I wanted to thank you for considering me for the project. However, I wanted to bring to your attention that the rate of $20 per video is not sufficient for the level of work and effort that goes into creating high quality content for brands. Creating videos involves much more than just filming and editing. There are numerous costs associated with producing professional videos, including the cost of software, apps, props, and taxes. This cost can add up quickly, and it is important to factor them into the rate and offered. I understand that the budget can be tight, but I hope you understand that as a freelancer, it is important to me to fairly compensate for my time and skills. I am confident that I'm more reasonable rate. I can produce outstanding videos for your brand that will meet your expectations, deliver great results. I hope we can come to an agreement that is fair for the both of us. Please let me know if you have any questions or would like to discuss further. Excusez-moi? Excusez-moi? This thing is crazy!
Dear AI, can you write a poem about my rabbit and my cat? My rabbit passed away a few months ago and I really miss him. I'd love to see a beautiful poem about them playing together, hanging out together like two best friends. They used to share snacks. My house doesn't feel the same without him. It feels kind of lonely without my rabbit. I think my cat misses him too. Sometimes he goes into the living room and meows like he's asking where he's at. If you could write a poem for me, maybe I'll print it out and put it on my fridge, or I'll frame it. It'd be so nice to have a little memory of him. He was the sweetest rabbit. We both miss him.
For those of you who are thinking about doing something like this with AI-generated artwork, books, or any other type of creative work, listen up. This exact situation is happening in the U.S. Copyright Office right now. The U.S. Copyright Office reached out to the artist who registered for copyright protection of this graphic novel. They're asking that she prove substantial human involvement in the creation of this graphic novel that was partially generated using artificial intelligence. This is the artist. Her name is Christina Kashtanova, and this is her graphic novel, Zara of the Dawn. It actually looks pretty cool. She was awarded the registration of the copyright back in September, and it was highly publicized as the first instance of an AI-generated work being successfully registered with the U.S. Copyright Office. Now the U.S. Copyright Office has given her 30 days to prove her process in creating this graphic novel and the substantial human involvement. Otherwise, they will cancel her registration. So we'll see how this pans out, because as it stands, the Copyright Office has already ruled several times that creative works, art, whatever, generated by artificial intelligence is ineligible for registration for copyright protection.
Get it. Chat GPT just broke university. As a
Definitely, I think to some extent. So I teach cloud computing at a college, and one of the assignments that I came up with, so I tried to use Chat GPT to see if it'll create, a good response and if it's plagiarized or not. And to my fear, it is not. So it not only gave me an architecture for a 3-tier web app in AWS, and it's pretty legit, but also it can, kind of illustrate you how you would design the different resources that you'll use within AWS. So what is the purpose of giving the students an assignment? Because now they can use ChatGPT, and I cannot, find out if it's plagiarized from external sources.
This technology can change a ton of people's lives who are watching this right now. No different than TikTok and YouTube and Twitter and a lot of the shit that I've talked about over the last 15 years that have really helped people. You have to check out ChatGPT. Link is in the bio. This is AI done in a way that is really profound. I think you're going to be completely blown away. Your head will explode when you play with it. It made me feel the way I first saw a search engine. I was like, wait a minute, I can get all the information from the world from this. This is profound. And most of all, if you're a writer, if you write blogs for content creators, this is incredible. For people that code, this is incredible. And for many more things and use cases that are coming, this is incredible. What's most incredible is this is going to be your first taste of AI that really blows you away, I think. Click the link in the bio, play with it.